this month's Whiteboard workout. So this month we have a 4-round workout for you with 2 exercises per round. Our focus is going to be more on static strength, and we're also going to start to challenge core stability while challenging static strength. It's very push-pull oriented, so a whole lot of shoulder girdle going on throughout this entire workout. So when you're getting people warmed up and ready to go, kind of more movement prep stuff. We want to make sure that the core stability is ready and engaged. Scapula is ready to go, so work on some postural scapular retraction stuff, some light pushing and pulling, some balance, some work, start to get the nervous system turned on and fired. So not as much dynamic in the warm-up, but it's going to be more preparing the body for load and resistance. Now we have 4 rounds. Each one of the rounds you can do a couple different ways. If you have a group and you want to keep everybody on track, I usually do them for time. If you're going to do it for time, I'd say about 6 minutes per round, because they are going to be moving through at a fairly quick pace, and it's not going to be too metabolically demanding. If you have a very small group or just working with like 1 or 2 people, I would give them sets and reps. So generally for each one, we're going to do about 3 sets. But again, if you're working with a bigger group, I like to keep that to time, and that way it keeps the entire group on track, so you don't get to the last set and you have 1 or 2 people that are way behind everybody else. So you can go either way you want. Again, if you're going to go sets and reps, it's 3 sets of each one of the exercises. In round 1, we're going to start with our TRX row, 8 reps at the most challenging resistance they can do while maintaining good form. So 2 big things you're looking for: shoulders down and back, straight line through the body in a plank. As long as they can maintain that, as low as they can possibly get for 8 reps. And then a renegade row. You can use dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever you want. Kettlebells are going to be a little bit more unstable, so if you have newer people, maybe start them on the dumbbells. They're going to be in a plank position, holding each one of the dumbbells or kettlebells. Row 1 up, touch, row the other, and touch. Biggest thing you're looking for as a coach is that the body does not move. There's not a lot of twisting and shifting, no hip raising, but they're able to keep that nice, tight, straight line plank throughout. So they're going to keep going back and forth between those 2 for either 6 minutes or 3 sets on each one. Then we'll take a little break and we move on to round 2. Now we're going to focus a little bit more push. We're going to go a TRX push-up. So that is feet suspended, hands on the ground. Now, of course, if that's a little too difficult for them, if they're not getting at least 90-degree bend in the elbow, then take their feet out and go into a TRX chest press, again, at a very low resistance. If they want a little bit more on this one, you can suspend just 1 leg, and now you're going to challenge the core stability a little bit more and add a little bit more to that movement. 8 reps. So if they're doing single leg, they'll do 8 reps on 1 leg, and then the next time they get to that exercise, they'll do 8 reps on the other leg. Then we're going to go into a kettlebell push press or split jerk. So double belt, rack position, driving the hips up to full extension of the arms overhead. Or if they're comfortable with, and if they're a little bit more advanced, then go a little bit heavier and go into a split jerk. But I'll leave that up to you. As the trainer, the push press is going to be a little bit less complex and probably a better place to start right now. But make sure they're loading their hips as they go into the push press and not bending back and opening up their ribs. Then we get to round 3. So big static strength on round 1 and 2, especially on that push and that pull. Now we're going to start to add a little bit more core stability to that push and that pull. And we're going to do that with the rip trainer. It's only loaded on one side, so there's a constant rotational demand. So they're not going to be able to produce as much force on the push or the pull, but it is going to challenge their core stability more and challenge their scapular stability more. So the rip row, we're going to go 8 to 10 reps each side. I'm going to encourage you to use an offset hand position so we have lots of good torque and really challenging the center. So either power hand in zone 4, zone 3, or zone 2. And the base hand will always be in zone 1. So it'll either be wide, narrow, or narrow. Making sure that the hands are even distance from the ribs on either the pull or the push. They're trying to stay as symmetrical as possible. Wide, low stance. I want lots of stability from the ground, from the legs, as they go into their push and their pulls on these exercises. So right now, just the row. 8 rows on one side, flip it, power hand on the other side, 8 rows on that side. And then a kettlebell Turkish get-up. So this is a complex one. Have them start nice and light. If they can't go through the whole Turkish get-up, they can just lie flat on their back and just do the roll-up section where they come up onto their planted hand, reaching the other hand over the shoulder. Keeping the arm long and the hand over the shoulders at all times. 3 to 5 each side. So if you're doing the Turkish get-ups, stick around 3 reps each side because they're a little bit longer. If you're doing the roll-ups, and that's all, do about 5 reps on each side. And then our final round, we have the rip press. Exact same as the rip row. We just flip around facing away from the anchor point. We're going to go 8 to 10 reps each. Same hand positions, nothing changes, we're just pushing instead of pulling. And then finally a kettlebell windmill. So we're going to try and keep both legs straight on this windmill. If they lack some mobility, you can bend the lead leg, but keeping the trail leg nice and straight. Make sure the bell stays up over the shoulder as they drop down. They're trying to get their opposite hand down to the foot. If they can't get there, don't worry about it. Keep the range of motion where they're comfortable. So that is this month's whiteboard workout. Again, if you like these, and if you're not part of the League of Extraordinary Trainers yet, go to the description of this video, click the link to join the league, and you get the Insider's Whiteboard workout. Every month it's a special one I do just for you guys. It's usually a little bit more complex, and we throw some exercise videos in there so you can see the visualization of all of them. Plus, you'll get access to Google Hangouts that we can get together and talk about the why behind the workout, and a little bit about how we put it together and let you ask questions. So look for that coming up. Sign up for the list if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you next month.